Rhode Island fans. Hola mi gente de Rhode Island and mi familia in Guatemala. Today I'm going to be showing you something a little bit more American. I thought I would show you a quick recipe. We already made chili this morning, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to be having for dinner tonight. I'm going to show you a recipe of honey barbecue chicken tenders, and below in the descriptions you'll see all the ingredients that you're going to need. Sometimes I miss some, so I definitely make sure I go through thoroughly and check in my ingredients list that you get everything that you need. So let's get started. So here's the list of ingredients. First and foremost, you need about 2 to 3 pounds of chicken tenders. Chicken breast also works if you slice it up in the same manner, like strips. You're going to need 2 cups of flour, all-purpose. You need, this is 2 bowls by the way, 4 cups total of buttermilk, but it has to be divided because you're going to be using it for 2 different purposes. So 2 cups in one bowl, 2 cups in the other. You're going to need a tablespoon of hot sauce. I use Tapatio. You can use habanero. You can use whatever. It depends on your hotness level, I guess, or your taste. You're going to need a cup of barbecue sauce. Definitely wouldn't use anything other than Sweet Baby Ray's. It's my favorite. I use it on my steaks and everything else. Ribs, oh my god, there's like some killer rib. I'll have to share that recipe with you another time. But this is all I use for barbecue sauce, basically. You're going to need a tablespoon of vinegar, again, apple cider. You're going to need oil for frying, obviously. And for all the dry ingredients, I'll move this out of the way. You need a teaspoon of each. So a teaspoon of onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, salt, paprika, and I believe that's it for our dry ingredients. And for the honey, you need a 1/4 cup. So basically the first thing that you're doing, basically you have your chicken tenders here. You're going to take 1 bowl of the buttermilk, dump it over the top of the chicken. I like my salt a little bit different than yours. Maybe I like it a little bit more salty. Like I said, a teaspoon is just a general measurement. I kind of just do a couple shakes. So just put your salt over the buttermilk. 4 or 5 good shakes should be fine. Same thing with the black pepper. A few shakes on top of the buttermilk. And then just take a spoon, pretty much, and mix it around with the chicken. Now, ideally, once you put the buttermilk and the salt on top of the chicken, you want to let it sit for a good hour or 2 inside the refrigerator so it soaks up that nice juicy buttermilk, and it's going to leave your chicken so it doesn't dry out as much. After that hour or 2, we'll come back and I'll show you what the next steps are going to be. Okay, so in the meantime, while you're waiting for your chicken in the fridge, you really don't have to wait the 2 hours. I mean, I just prefer it like that because it just seems to make the chicken tender, like I mentioned. We're going to go ahead and prepare the rest of the batter that you're going to need to fry it with. So I already measured out all my spices. I want to say that I did add extra salt and pepper that's going to go into the flour mixture, so probably about the same of each, a teaspoon. So you have a teaspoon of salt, pepper, paprika, garlic, and onion powder. You have your 2 cups of all-purpose flour pre-measured out. Go ahead, dump your spices into that, and just go ahead and mix it around. Doesn't have to be perfect, as I always say. And that's going to be for your dipping mixture when the chicken's all set. So we'll go ahead and set that aside. One of the other mixtures that you're going to need is that other 2 cups of buttermilk that you had set aside. What you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and add your hot sauce into this. You can see I didn't stir it around just so you could see that I did add it. Same thing. Go ahead, mix it up. You have to put this back into the fridge, obviously. You can't let it sit out on your counter. That's a big no-no. And the yummy, crunchy part, after you get done frying, then gets dipped into this. This is the honey barbecue. Now, I want to kick myself in the pants because, unfortunately, I was raving so much about how much I loved Sweet Ray's barbecue sauce that I forgot to buy more and actually ran out. So I ended up with like 3/4 cup of barbecue sauce when you actually need a cup. So if your consistency looks a little different than mine, that's probably why. So just go ahead. Like I said, this is the dipping mixture after the chicken is fried. The cup of barbecue, 1/4 cup of honey, and a tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. Same thing, just mix it up, put it in the fridge. And when my chicken's done, we'll just start battering and frying it, and then we'll dip it into the mixture. And I'm going to just show you afterwards quickly how it's dipped and set it aside, and then we'll just fry it. Now, I like my chicken crispy. So when you're frying it, I usually don't go by time because just the sizes of the chicken always is different than the other ones. So I use my meat thermometer just to make sure it's cooked, or I break open one down the middle or the fattest part of the chicken to make sure that it's not pink. Chicken should be cooked 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Some chicken tenders, roughly I would say about 10 to 15 minutes it takes when you're frying them, but we'll show you that part in a minute. Okay, so my chicken has been in the fridge for 2 hours now, and I'm going to show you quickly how to batter them. I'm not going to go through each piece of chicken, but we'll just show you the step and how to do it. So basically, this is the chicken in the original buttermilk, not the one with the hot sauce in it. Basically, take your strip of chicken. I got my flour already ready. You're going to batter it in the flour first. Doesn't have to be perfectly coated, just enough to make it so it's a little bit dry. Sorry, my camera wasn't on the piece. See, this is what we're doing. Coating it with the flour first, shake it a little bit. This is your buttermilk with the hot sauce. This is what's going to get it dipped into next. Dip it there. And then back to the flour again. And you're just going to basically repeat this process until the whole bowl of chicken is done. Excuse me, I'm like trying to think about what I'm saying at the same time as doing this. Can't walk and chew gum at the same time, right? Put it on your pan until all of them are done. I have my oil going on high. So I wanted to mention, like, when you're frying this, you don't have to worry about frying it all the way through. I neglected to say that, and I was talking about, you know, how chicken should be done at 165 degrees. There is 2 parts of cooking to this process, so you're going to fry these first. Like I said, they don't have to be cooked through because the second part of the process actually, when this is fried, and you're going to just fry them golden brown, basically. And then it gets dipped into the barbecue sauce, and then it's going to go into the oven. So when I get these already all breaded, we'll come back and I'll show you basically what the next step or the third step is. I mean, this isn't really a simple recipe. It's a little time consuming, but I can assure you that it's well worth your time. So I'm starting to fry up the chicken. It's on high. Like I said, it doesn't need to be cooked through, but I just wanted to show you quickly what the color. This is a few that I've already done. It's a nice light golden brown. It takes roughly about 5 to 7 minutes. I would go maybe 7 to 9 on the bigger pieces like this one. But y'all, this is looking so good. And even with the honey barbecue sauce, you really don't even need to use that. You basically, like, you can put buffalo sauce on this. You can use it and chop it up for a salad, or basically do whatever you want. But I'm just giving you a really, really good recipe right here. So So these are all fried up already. I wanted to mention that you probably, if you end up doing 3 pounds and not 2, you're going to end up making the flour mixture a second time. So if you want to just save that whole step, just double it up from the get-go. But I'll put it in the ingredients doubled up so that it's not going to confuse anybody. But I decided to split them in half. And I'm going to try to do half buffalo and half barbecue, honey barbecue. So I have my basting brush already. And pretty much all you're going to do is whatever chicken you want. Coat one side first. Doesn't have to be tons of it, just enough to make it so that it coats it evenly. And once that side is done, excuse my fingers, just gonna flip it over and do the other side. So just basically repeat this whole process with whatever sauce that you decide you're gonna use, and you're gonna stick it in the oven 350 for the rest of the 20 minutes. And that's going to finish cooking it. So if you like my recipe, don't forget to subscribe, like, and make a comment, and follow my page, please. Thank you.